In this video, we show you how to access wRTOS runtime tools and features, activate and configure the product, and use wRTOS settings to customize the subsystem. We also look at the wRTOS Task Manager and a few other essential runtime tools. MaxRT wRTOS provides determinism or hard real-time on multi-core x86 processors, while co-resident with the Windows operating system. It enhances Windows by providing a hard real-time scheduler and control capabilities within a general-purpose operating system familiar to both developers and end users. The wRTOS runtime is deployed on your target system with your real-time application. The wRTOS runtime includes several tools and components, which are accessible from the Start menu after installation. All MaxRT wRTOS related components begin with the wRTOS prefix, making them easy to search for. You can also access key features through the wRTOS system tray, which appears in the Windows system tray. wRTOS system tray provides a visual indicator of the subsystem's current state and links to tools, such as the wRTOS control panel in a right-click menu. wRTOS control panel allows you to control the wRTOS subsystem and product components, including the network link layer, network relay, TCP/IP, and ECAT. It also provides shortcuts to launch several commonly used wRTOS tools. The wRTOS settings tool allows you to activate product components, set the wRTOS boot configuration, and configure default behavior for the real-time subsystem, real-time applications, networking, and other product features. You can also access wRTOS tools and resources. wRTOS components must be activated with a valid license. On the wRTOS settings licensing and activation page, you can activate your product components and lock them to a specific machine or an interval 0 provided dongle. Under license components, you can view your product licenses, turn them on and off, check their expiration dates, and renew or delete them. On this machine, wRTOS is locked to a dongle, as indicated by the dongle ID. Once the wRTOS runtime is licensed, you must create an RTSS boot configuration before using runtime components. You can do this in wRTOS settings on the core configuration page. The wRTOS subsystem requires dedicated processors for real-time processing. wRTOS settings automatically detects the total number of processors on your system and the number of processors you are licensed to use for wRTOS. You can then assign the available processors between Windows and wRTOS. On the core configuration page, you can also view the core assignments for wRTOS processes and components. The subsystem page contains links to related settings pages that allow you to customize the real-time subsystem. You can use these settings to configure search paths and default internal system, memory allocation, and monitoring behaviors. On the System Behavior page, you can set the startup type to determine when the subsystem starts. You can also set the default wRTOS HAL timer, which the subsystem uses for all internal synchronization, timers, and wait functionality. Additionally, you can enable performance optimization with Intel Resource Director technology and configure exception handling, among other behaviors. On the memory page, you can determine how the wRTOS subsystem interacts with Windows during memory allocation. Under Memory Profile, you can configure the approximate amount of system memory available to wRTOS and the percentage of that memory expected to be used by Windows applications running alongside your real-time applications. The Memory Profile chart shows the percentage of memory used by each allocation space. Each segment in the chart has a unique color corresponding to a memory allocation section on the page. See the Allocation Spaces topic in the wRTOS help for information on wRTOS MSpaces. wRTOS settings provide several options for configuring wRTOS network components, such as the network link layer and optional TCP/IP and ECAT for EtherCAT fieldbus support, along with their corresponding interfaces. You can access pages containing these settings from the network page. Note that some network components require a separate product package and license. See the help for more information. By default, wRTOS Runtime installs the network relay component, which establishes a communication channel between Windows and RTSS, enabling Windows applications to send and receive Ethernet frames via NICs owned by wRTOS. You can control and configure this component on the network relay page in wRTOS settings. On the interfaces page, you can add, remove, and enable or disable network interfaces. Once an interface is added on the interfaces page, a separate interface-specific page appears under Network Interfaces, where you can configure that interface. By default, wRTOS Runtime installs an interface for the virtual network, called RT Virtual NIC, that enables network communication between Windows and RTSS on the same system without dedicated hardware. The Tools page in wRTOS Settings lists the wRTOS tools. Click on a tool to launch it directly from the page. wRTOS has its own task manager, which lets you view, start, or end any active RTSS process or Windows process linked to wRTOS on your system, whether started by Task Manager or with the RTSS Run command line utility. Windows processes linked to wRTOS are either unmanaged processes that call the real-time interface, RTAPI, or managed processes that use the interval0.maxrt.wrtos interface to communicate with RTSS processes. To start a process, you can either choose a recently run process from the Open dropdown or click the Browse button and navigate to the .rtss file or .exe file you want to run. In the Scheduled Tasks tab, you can schedule RTSS processes to start automatically when the subsystem is started. In the Performance tab, you can view CPU usage information for all processors assigned to either Windows or wRTOS. SRTM, or System Response Time Measurement, is an RTAPI timer latency measurement tool that captures the timer latency observed by an application. There are two versions, one for the Windows environment, srtm.exe, and another for the RTSS environment, srtm.rtss. wRTOS Server launches when an application, such as SRTM, runs and prints data. It displays and logs print messages from all wRTOS applications and RTDLLs in one or more console windows, depending on how Process Output Display is configured in wRTOS settings. Thanks for watching. For more information on wRTOS Runtime and the many runtime tools not shown in this video, see the documentation installed with the product and available online, and check out our other product videos on our website and YouTube channel.